What's up, guys? Big Clyde 34 coming at you today, and I know I'm going to get my head chopped off by all the people who just read the headline and didn't listen to me. I think that the new Supra is pretty awesome looking, and I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to see what it can do. We don't really have very much info on the car yet, other than the body that was released at Geneva. It kind of showed us what the car looked like. Essentially, it was a racing version of the Supra though, so we don't even know that the production version is really gonna look like that. Everyone's getting all hype about this car though. We don't know what engine's gonna be in it. We don't know anything about the chassis. We don't know what transmission. We don't know anything. I mean, they put paddle shifters and 3 pedals in the car. We don't know if it's gonna come with a stick shift option or if it's gonna be paddle shifters or whatever it's going to be. I mean, I guess it kind of is the race car version and not the production version, but it's just pretty much a body at this point. Even without knowing those details, I could tell you 3 reasons why I personally think, even though I like the Supra and I think that it's going to be exciting to see what they come up with, that they would have been better off just letting the Supra name die. The first one is the design was iconic. The Supra has been gone for what, about 20 years almost now? It was kind of a breath of fresh air when it came out and everybody saw this car and it was just something new. Some would have even called it visually perfect, and a lot of people still do today. However, in my opinion, the new version of the Supra took a new SRT Viper, or the last generation, because they no longer exist either, and some sort of BMW, and mashed them together. They went from that, you know, late 80s, early 90s angular style that the Supra had, and cars like the Fox Body, the Camaro, everything had that kind of angular design, and it was one of the first ones to kind of make a swooping design and really bring this new look that was fresh and all its own. And if you looked at a Supra, you could really tell that's a special car. Second, the scene has vastly changed. This might sound like a weird thing, but one of the reasons that the Supra originally became what it was because of pop culture and how it was another breath of fresh air into what was already going on. In a day and age where, admittedly, most of us, we did all these body kits and bright colors and Lambo doors and all that kind of stuff. The Supra came along and was like, hey, maybe it would be cool to be into performance. And it did that really well with the looks. The performance had a nice base to build off of with the turbo cars. And it just really was an all new thing, kind of. And the culture was at this turning point where it was like kind of shifting into something else. And the Supra came at just the right time to make it everybody's dream car. Well, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. With the way that culture is these days, it's gonna kind of be another shift, I guess, and it's not going to be cutting edge. I feel like the Supra that comes out is going to be just trying to compete with the cars that are out there, which I mean, I guess is a way to make a living, but it's gonna take something away from the Supra that it originally had, which made it so special. The biggest thing of why I think it would not be the smartest idea in the world to bring the Supra back is because it will never live up to the hype. It could be the best car in the world, but I think that even Supra fanatics, well, some of them probably won't admit this, but we all know that they put this car up on a pedestal. Even if the car was a 10 out of 10, Supra fans make it a 15 out of 10. So therefore, when this new Supra comes out, it could be the best thing since sliced bread. It could be at a price you can afford, make 1,000 horsepower, be comfortable, scratch your ass while you're driving it. It would only still be a 10 out of 10. And they would be expecting to get it at that 15 out of 10. Because of this long lapse and all this hype that has been built up and people having such fond, romantic, nostalgic memories of the old Supra, there is such a high expectation with this car just because of the reputation that it's built that I feel like no matter how good Toyota does with the new Supra, they're going to be competing against themselves with something that a lot of people would consider to be as close to perfect as a human being can possibly get when they create a car. People, even if it's a little bit overdone and people kind of overhype the Supra is still up there with some of the greatest cars ever on most people's lists. And if this new Supra comes out and flops, well, people are going to remember the most recent rendition of the car, and I think that'll also tarnish the name of the Supra, which Toyota, you want to keep that, because even if you come out with another car and it ends up flopping for some reason, I mean, I don't think they would, come out with a flop, but I've seen weird things happen. Pontiac Aztec. I don't think they would come out with a flop, but if they did and it wasn't named the Supra, they would still have that Supra reputation to fall back on. Like, yeah, we built the Supra, so you can give us another chance. But if people come out and buy the Supra and it sucks or doesn't live up to expectations, there goes your performance reputation pretty much, right? Part of me feels like they should almost do something like back in the day when Honda kind of shocked everybody and came out with the NSX. I'm not saying that the NSX was cutting edge or the greatest thing ever, but it was pretty cool. People respected it, and it was something different. That's, I feel like, what Toyota should do here. They should kind of dive a little bit more into the supercar market. They already have the Toyota, I think it's called the 86. It's built off of the Scion FRS, which is also Toyota, the same platform. And it's gonna kind of be like the Celica Supra thing. I feel like they should just take that, make it more performance oriented, take all their research and development for the Supra and make it maybe more exotic / supercar territory. Whereas I feel like this one, while we don't have very much info on it, is going to come out to compete or try and compete with like the Corvettes and maybe be 100 grand-ish, 80, 90, 100 grand. I don't see that working. Maybe the Supra will come out and compete more with the pony cars, be in that $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 range. But I don't know. I just think that they should let the Supra rest. At the end of the day, it's like a relationship. It comes to an end. You don't sit there and try and go back to it and try and go back to it and try and go back to it. You kind of take the good moments, your turbo 2J banging gears, and you remember them, and then you kind of just cut it and start over again, which is what I think Supra or Toyota should do with the Supra. So let me know what you think. Are you hype about the Supra? Do you think that they should bring the Supra name back, or am I just being crazy? So let me know what you think. Comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.